It's a new year or a new season or a new day, and you want to start something. You want to do something. You have a new hobby, ambition, or desire to achieve something. A week passes, then a month, and you're back to your old ways, and you don't know why, because you were so ambitious at the start. Well, I just finished the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I didn't even realize till reading this for the third time that I've been doing something in this book for the past 12 years. Didn't even realize it. So I want to teach you 3 main takeaways from this book, and let's get into the first one that I learned. Hey guys, my name's AB, and on this channel we read a book every week on the subjects of psychology, philosophy, or self-improvement. And if you're like me and struggled with reading, and later, I didn't even realize this, but I had dyslexia the whole time. So if you're like me and you're struggling to get through a book, or you just don't have the time, I'm going to give you the top takeaways of each book we cover. So takeaway number 1 from the book is the 1% rule. Now everybody has heard this, everybody knows this one, it's been around for ages. But I just want to show you an equation that really will sink in how effective the 1% rule is. So here, 1% better every day. And then we times it by 365. We get 37% or 30 times better over the accumulation of a year. Now that's great, and it can be the smallest thing ever. Let's say you want to be more healthy, so you want to start walking more. So as soon as you come home, you have your shoes right at the door. You put them on, and the first day, that's it. That's good enough. That's 1%. And then the next day, you go through the front door. That's good enough as well. That's another 1% on top. And then the next day after that, you go to the end of the street. And the day after that, you go around the block. And then the day after that, you go around the block again. And you just keep that momentum and that consistency going. And over time, it accumulates by heaps. Now, the counteract to that is the 1% going the opposite direction. So if we do it here, worse every day is 0.9, which doesn't seem like much. And this is the part that really sticks in with some people. Times that by 365, we get 0.03% worse every day. Now, the thing with this is that it happens slowly over time. So if we come home and instead of putting on our walking shoes, we put our feet up, open a beer or have a glass of wine. Now that's great for decompressing. It's really good for your mental health. But let's just say you do that every day. And then on top of that, you realize that you're more tired now. You realize that you almost need that thing because you've got that habit in that you go, oh man, I just want to come home and have that beer, and then after that, over a year, you realize that your health has declined a little bit because you've done this consistently every day. Now, a famous quote from the book that everybody knows: you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the levels of your systems. Now, I want to sink this in a little bit more by showing you a graph here. So if we do this and we type in habits on one side, let's change that to results. Our results. And then over time, this could be a year. And if we have our baseline, our starting point, where we are right now, and then every day we just do, the same thing. We don't change. Maybe you can, you sit on the couch every day after work and decompress. Nothing wrong with that. But as you can see, over a period of time, your health starts to decline. It might, and very gradually, you don't even realize it. Now let's do the opposite, where we put on shoes and go for a walk straight after work, even if it's just through the front door. That little bit every day, and you slowly accumulate that over time. You can see the exponential curve just gets massive, and you become a new person at the end of the year. And these are the compounding interest and the compounding results of just that 1% rule from the Atomic Habits. Habits are the compounding interest of self-improvement. The same way that money multiplies through compounding interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little differences on any given day, and yet the impact they deliver over the months and years can be enormous. So I totally agree on that. So let's get on to number 2, which is systems versus goals. Now I'm just going to draw a real simple thing here. Goals. So goals, we treat them like a bullseye, We've got a destination we want to reach, a goal we want to achieve, a look we want to get, a place we want to go. We've got this destination, and we'll call that goals. Now the great thing about goals is it gives you a direction. You want to go there. I want to run a marathon. Let's keep with the walking thing. And we want to run a marathon. So every day we train. And this is great. We're doing that 1% rule again. We're getting better over time. So then the day comes when we are ready to do the marathon, and we do it, and we achieve our goal. We're done. Yes, we've got our goal. Woohoo! You know what I mean? And now what? I've done my goal. I don't need to run anymore. So now your habit of running and getting up and going outside for a walk slowly depletes. Now this is where we need systems over goals, because goals are great for a destination, but what happens is once we get to that destination, we lose steam. But let's say we have a system rather instead. Now our system is that we get up and we go for a run, and we do that consistently over time. Now the difference with a goal and a system is a system you just keep doing. The results are finishing the marathon, which is great, but the system is us just getting up every day and walking. So if we look at this, goal has an end point. So once we reach it, we're done. But a system has a never ending. It just keeps going and going and going, which is so good. So here's a quote that I really like from James Clear. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is continue playing the game. So you can see here with this little diagram, a goal is an endpoint, where a system just keeps going around and around and around. You get me? So I want to go over to point number 3, which is identity. Incentives can start a habit. Identity sustains a habit. Now here we go. This is I think the core of the book, the most important part. And this is something that I did for 12 years and didn't even realize it. So I want to show you this little graph here. So your identity is who you are, what you believe in, everything, your whole worldview, how you've been raised, everything goes into who you are. And what you do day to day, what you believe, your habits, your routines, everything, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you present yourself, the way you think about things, the way you interpret things, that is your identity, your core, right? Now, let's say you're not quite happy with your identity and you want to be a bit more healthy, so you want to start running, walking more. So you need a process, but you've been that person who wasn't that, you went home and you chilled out, you're the lax person, the easygoing. And now you don't quite identify with this new thing that you want to do, but we want to change that. So the great thing about actions is they become your beliefs. So like the 1% rule, if you do it again and again and again, it becomes who you are. So the process of, putting those shoes on every day, the process of going out the door, you know what I mean? The great thing about that is if you do it enough, you get that marathon, remember? You do that marathon, but that identity is you're the person who runs, you're the person who walks every day. It's who you are, If someone's trying to quit vaping, they would say something like, I'm trying to quit vaping. But someone who doesn't vape says, no, I don't vape. See the difference there? One is identifying with a past tense and one is saying, I am this, I am that. Your habits are how you embody your identity. When you make your bed each day, you embody the identity of an organized person. When you write each day, you embody the identity of a creative person. When you train each day, you embody the identity of an athlete. You get me? This is so good. Once you start acting and changing your habits, doing that 1% every day, you realize that you are becoming that person. And your identity shifts and it changes. Wait a minute, didn't you say that you were doing something in this book for 12 years and you didn't even know it? Well, all the examples I gave about running and walking? Well, that happened to me 12 years ago. Had a little scare in the family and I really wanted to, be more healthy. So I decided I'm going to start running. And I started running every day. And I had a goal of running for a certain amount of time. And I'd run the same track and every day I'd get that little bit further. And it was so motivating. And I get up really early and it was a great start to my day. But then 2-3 years down the track, I got major shin splints and I couldn't run anymore. And I was super gutted because I absolutely identified as someone who ran every single day and I couldn't do it anymore. So then I just started walking for the next 5 years. But I didn't give up moving. And then what happened again is I got plantar fasciitis, where like my nerves in my feet would like seize up and it hurt like crazy just walking. So I was like, oh my God, the world doesn't want me to do this. So I found and did a bit of research, and I found some bare feet shoes. And the transition from that for about 6 months was absolutely grueling. But after 6 months, I could start walking again without getting a flare up in my feet, and my nerves weren't pinching, so it wasn't so painful anymore. But I still missed running. I wasn't getting the benefits of running anymore. So then I did a bit more research, and I found out that I could start rucking. And rucking's where you put on a heavy weight vest or a heavy backpack, and you just walk, same as before. Now the benefits of this is less demanding on your joints, but you get the same benefits as running. So I just started running, and I've been rucking ever since. Now the thing is, I did that little percent every day. And when it got hard, I still put the shoes on and walked out the door and walked, even though I couldn't run anymore. And it's those little things. And I identified as someone who would get up and go for a run. And I had to shift that. Now I'm someone who walks every day. But that's okay, you know. And I've been doing that for 12 years, and I didn't even know that that was like how you do it. You just do a little bit every day, even if it gets hard, even if it's like you want to write. Just opening a notepad, pulling out the pen, you know, like just writing a little bit every day really does make a difference. So the 3 takeaways from this was the 1% rule, where we just do a little bit every single day. Doesn't matter if it's a big thing or a little thing, we just got to do it consistently and build that habit. Rule number 2 was systems versus goals. You know, a goal is great for a direction, but once we get there, we kind of plateau. So a system means we just keep doing it daily, every now and then. And if we do it enough, it becomes number 3, which is our identity, who we are. We become the thing we wanted to be. We achieve the goal. We have now built a system that we identify with. It's who we are now. Now, if you like this video and the things and the book that resonated with you and you took away from these details, and we've built those habits and now you're out there and you're ready to go, maybe one of your habits is a financial one. So over here, if you click on this, I cover a book on the psychology of money, and we go into maybe how to save a little bit more. So if you're interested in that, I'll see you over there.